everybody. Welcome to Going Mad. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Cailey.
And this is episode 12?
12.
Yeah, that's crazy. And this week, we're just kind of more relaxed.
Yes.
We don't really have a structure, per se. But we'll get into it. Before we start, as we always say, you can hit us up on Facebook, on Instagram, email us if you guys have any stories you want us to tell, or if you have any topics you want us to research. That's goingmadpod@gmail.com. And you can just listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. And let's get into today's episode. It is, if you guys follow us or listen, you know that Cailey was just recently in Southern Illinois recently.
Yes, I was.
A few days ago.
Yep.
And so we try to go on some adventures, but if you guys don't know what the temperature is in Southern Illinois right now, it is 30 degrees.
It was cold and really snowing the entire time I was out there.
I know, it's crazy. And it stopped snowing when you left.
I know. I brought the snow with me, which is funny because it's like it hasn't snowed in Colorado in like a while. Like it was, I think it was 55 degrees here today. It was great.
Oh.
Like I'm just wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and I went to the store and I was walking around. Like it was nice today.
It's been cold. So we tried to go on some adventures for you guys so we could have something cool to talk about. But again, it was really cold and nothing's open right now in January. So, but I thought, Cailey, you could tell a story about what happened in the cemetery.
Okay. So, first off, I'm going to back it up. And I'm going to talk about when we were driving to Mount Vernon.
Okay.
And then because I think that will lead into it. So anyways, we were driving to Mount Vernon just because we were running errands. And Vanessa downloaded this app that's kind of like a spirit box where it kind of, it sounds like it's going through FM frequencies, but I don't know if it actually is. But it pops up, it has a little text box and it pops up with words that are trying to be said. So we're driving to Mount Vernon, and I was thinking, just thinking as I do when I drive, and I was thinking like, hey, I wonder if Matt's gonna be there tonight. And then I don't know, maybe a minute later, the voice box said Matthew, so that was kind of weird. You
didn't say it out loud.
I didn't say it out loud. I was just kind of thinking it. And then I was like, oh, okay. So that happened. And then we kind of drove. So if you remember from a couple episodes back, I talked about the Shelton gang and how I'm related to them. And they're very infamous down there. And so they all kind of ran throughout Pond Creek, which is, right outside of Fairfield. So we drove through Pond Creek, and we didn't get anything necessarily that I remember. Like, I just remember feeling kind of creepy because it's a creepy place. Like, it's kind of a creepy area.
Really wooded area in some parts. And and all the trees are dead right now, so it even looks more creepy.
Right. Like, and it was snowing, and it was just like, we're on gravel roads, or, we were on pavement for some of it and then gravel on some of it. But, it was just kind of it kind of creeps me out. Just knowing some of the history, too, is just like, oh.
Yeah, and we saw some places that were like abandoned.
Yeah, super creepy abandoned homes. And, clearly they've been there for 100 years. Like, they're old homes that have just been abandoned and grown over and stuff. And so we were just kind of driving around, and then we decided we were going to go to the cemetery, which is Maple Hill Cemetery in Fairfield, which is a bunch of my family is buried there, not just the Shelton gang, but other members of my family, like my great-grandparents, and I have cousins and great-great-grandparents. I've got a lot of family buried out there. Anywho, so the Shelton gang, some members of the Shelton gang are also buried there. They have one large monument that just says Shelton on it, and then behind that, headed looking like if you're looking to the west, it's on the west side of the large monument, and there's 3 little headstones. So the first one is the mom and the dad, and I come to find out the mom's not actually buried there. It's just where her husband, like, I think what happened was the husband had died, and then, you know, she's on the headstone, but then she moved to Florida, so they ended up just burying her down in Florida. And then next to her is Carl, and then next to Carl is Roy. And so Carl is the one that was shot and killed in Pond Creek. Roy was the one that was shot and killed in Peoria, and then Earl, which is the other brother, moved the rest of the family down to Florida, and so Earl is buried down in Florida. So we decided, hey, let's get out of the car and walk over there, and let's bring out the voice box. So we walk up to the headstones, and I'm looking at the mom and dad's headstones, and so the mom doesn't have the death date on there, so it doesn't show the year that she died, which I thought was super interesting, because I felt like at least at some point they should come back and chisel that on, or, you know, do something.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So I had pointed that out to Vanessa, and I was telling her how I think that it's because she moved to Florida and is probably buried down there. And, like, I don't even know, a minute later maybe,
No,
the
like
voice box,
30 seconds.
it was, yeah, the voice box pops up year. And I'm like,
you
what?
guys, I jumped, and almost immediately after that.
Yeah, and then almost immediately after that, it says distance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening here? Like, what is going on?
And that was crazy.
We're like
We were freaking out.
And, you know, we're like the only people in the cemetery at this point because it's snowing and it's cold. And it was just weird. And so we kind of walked around that little area for a little while longer just to see if we could get anything else. And I don't remember, did we get anything else?
I don't really think we did.
I can't remember anything other than the... Yeah, like I can only remember being freaked out by the...
Yeah, I like freaked out hard because you guys, this app doesn't have access to my microphone, just so you guys know, like, oh, they're listening in. No, they're not, because as you guys know, if you have an iPhone, it tells you when an app has access to your microphone, and like this does not. And and so to have those 2 words pop up like immediately next to each other, even like right after we get done talking about that, is so crazy.
It was really weird. It was very creepy. And it was just kind of like, oh, okay. And then we were kind of like, well, who do we have with us here? Do we have Agnes with us?
Yeah.
Like, trying to figure out, you know. And we kind of, like I said, we kind of stuck around a little while longer just to see if we could get anything else, but I don't remember getting anything else.
No.
And I think part of it was we were just both cold and wanted to get back into the car with the nice heated seats.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened to the cemetery. And then we just kind of decided to drive around Fairfield a little while longer just to see if we can pick anything else up. We didn't get anything.
No.
But yeah, that was creepy. Weird.
Yeah.
Creepily
and
weird.
then later that night, we came back to my house. And if you guys have listened to us before, that there's some spooky things that go on at my house.
Super freaking spooky.
So we were having some adult beverages and some cheese. Which I would recommend you guys, sidetrack. You guys need to do this. Get some wine and cheese and just have a little night, because that was the first time I ever like did like a wine and cheese pairing, I guess, if you want to say. And it was bomb.
It was so much
Definitely
fun.
do that again.
We had so much fun.
It doesn't have to be expensive either. Like,
no, I mean,
we just got like discounted.
Cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. We got discounted cheese that was still good.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just throw some wine in there, throw some crackers.
Some pepperoni.
Just have yourself a good time. Anyways, so we decided to turn off the lights, and I was scared. Because it gets really... I didn't realize how dark it is in my house, because I always leave the kitchen light on, always.
Right.
And like, yeah, if you turn off all the lights, it got really dark.
Dark.
Yeah, and the only really thing I remember getting at first is like we were trying to figure out like who was here, like what spirit's here. And we got the name Leah. That was the first name.
Yeah.
And so I think if she's here, a real spirit, Leah got scared because there were other people here that were being loud. And I think she didn't really want to.
My bad.
I think she got scared because she would hardly come through at all. Just, I don't even remember what she said after. Oh, believe her. I think that was one of them. It said believe her.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I had a lot to drink. So I don't remember much other than her saying Leah. And then I know that there was another word that came out after Leah, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say...
Go ahead.
Oh, it did say child, but I think it said child at the house.
Yeah, it did. It said child at David's. But I do remember them making me, I don't know, I guess I went along with it, but they made me stand in the hallway by myself in the pitch black.
The creepy hallway.
In the creepy hallway where, remember, Vanessa said she saw Pat walking to her son's room? Yeah, I was standing right there for, how long was I standing there for?
A few minutes at least. And a lot of stuff actually has happened in that hallway. Like, that's when I've heard, like, Mommy call out from the hallway, where Pat heard footsteps, where he thought he heard my dad in the hallway. Like, that hallway is like creep.
Yeah, so they decided, hey, Cailey's had kind of a lot to drink. Let's turn off the lights and make her stand in the hallway by herself while we are all... And I don't remember. I feel like there was someone that was trying to sneak up on me and scare me, but I kind of called them out on
there
it.
was.
I remember
there was two people.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember someone trying to come up and scare me, and I'm like, hell no, not letting that happen. Yeah. That's not
Well,
gonna fly.
The weird part to me when you were in the hallway is we were talking about Bailey, that person you watch.
Yes,
that YouTuber.
Bailey Sarian, yeah.
Okay, we were just talking about her a little bit ago, about her videos, and then in the hallway, it came up Bailey. And I'm like, we were just talking about that.
You know, my name is Cailey, so maybe they were trying to say Cailey.
Yeah, maybe it was trying to say Cailey.
Because literally it's spelled, my name is spelled the same way as Bailey, just with a C.
Yeah. And I think it said run when you were in the hallway, didn't it?
I don't remember.
I think it did because you said it out loud, and I'm like, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I just was like, oh, no, okay, yep, you're bringing back memories. Okay. Because I had the phone with me, didn't I?
Yeah, you had the phone with you.
Yes, okay. Things are coming back. So, yeah, I did get a little creeped out because some of the words that were coming up, but at the same time, I was just like, I don't know if this is, like, real...
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, I probably had that liquid courage, so I didn't really care that much. But no, I do remember being kind of creeped out. And then, I could hear, was it Devin and Pat that were trying to scare me?
Well, and Chris.
So, yeah, I could hear them walking up. They weren't being very stealthy.
No.
So, anywho... Devin, Pat,
and
Chris,
also I tried different apps for the spirit box, and this was my favorite one. But I really want one of those that actually go through the FM stations or whatever. I really want one of those because I feel like those are more.
They're a little bit more legit.
I don't know. I think they're more legit, but it's the best we can do. On a short notice.
I mean, I was telling my mom about all of this, and she's like, well, I'm going to download the same app and see if it comes up with the same words. And I'm like...
Okay.
Like, she doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe that this is a thing. So, it is, I think there are some very weird instances of us using this app, and then just way too coincidental for it to be...
Right.
Not a thing. But I don't know.
Yeah. But then the big thing,
yes,
where we got a lot of voice activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we decided to go to my uncle's house. So my uncle the house that he has, he doesn't actually live in it. He lives in St. Louis, but back in, a couple years ago, up until recently, he would drive from St. Louis to Sisney all the time. He would just drive back and forth. Well, some things happened and he was no longer able to do that, but he still owns the house and all the land around it. And then, my grandpa kind of tries to maintain it. So every time I'm out there, I go drive by the house just to check on it and make sure, people aren't robbing it. Not that there's, there's holes in the floor and animals are probably in it now. So not like they're going to get too much. But anyways, we decided we would go out there because it's not too far from where you live. And
we had permission.
And we had permission from my grandpa.
Always have permission before you go somewhere.
Yeah, we had the permit. Well, and we didn't go in the house. We just walked around the house, which I do that all of the time anyways. But, we were going to try and see if we could get into the house. But ultimately, I don't think it would have been safe for us to get into the house.
Right.
Just
and
because
it was
of animals.
Dark.
And it was, 7 o'clock at night, which is dark. But we, of course, once again, snowing while we were doing this. So
I know.
it
was kind of like a scary movie almost.
It was really creepy because the electricity the meter got pulled from his house, so he doesn't have electricity at that house anymore. And normally there would be a giant pole light that's on. Well, because the meter was pulled, the pole light is not working anymore. So I left my car running because I'm like, I just want to leave the lights on, that at least we have some sort of light. And then we had our phone flashlights and stuff, but we kind of were just surveying a little bit. And then that's when you turned on the voice box. And I don't remember we were, I think, at the back of the house when you got the first one.
Yes.
And I don't remember what it was. What was it?
I remember. Okay. Because it freaked me out.
Yeah, you were freaking out. Literally, she grabbed my arm and was like having to walk. Her husband was there, meanwhile. She decides to grab me. And so I'm walking
You're probably closest to me, so I just latched
Maybe,
on.
I don't know, but I was just like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Okay. Well, if you've ever guys seen my husband, he's 6'4".
He's very big.
He's tall. And everybody always says it, oh, you're tall, blah, 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 make jokes. And so the first thing that came through the voice box was tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now.
This. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because that's
and
right
I looked up at him.
Yeah, it was, we all three of us were like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
I'm like, yep, he is tall, yep. And then I freaked out.
I think I wish I had a better picture of my uncle's house because then I think I could do it a little bit of justice just to show how creepy it truly was.
Yeah.
And it's an old house. This was my grandma's dad, so my great grandpa, grew up in this house. And my grandma's 80, so it's like this was a long time ago. So yeah, he grew up in this house, and so it's an old house. I think it's, I don't know, 150 years old maybe.
Yeah. And then I remember the second thing, because it came pretty quickly and it freaked me out bad too. So on the app is kind of like an EMF reader, which is
I just got
kind of, what is it?
The EMF reader is the electromagnetic field reader. So basically, if you're around anything that has any sort of, if you're in a basement and you see all of the pipes and stuff, and you're kind of around the breaker box, that's really going to set it off. Or if you're around the water heater, it's going to set it off. Or if you're around the furnace, it'll set it off. So it just
before
kind of reads,
then, yeah, I didn't even notice it because it really didn't go crazy.
No, it was kind of very level. Well, and I had noticed it, but only when it was about to say a word. So I thought that was ramping up for
I mean,
a word.
it would go off a little bit higher when it's about to say a word, but this was in red, and it just happened like right after it said tall. We were near. I don't even know how to explain it.
So it was a well cover. So I did find out that was the well.
Okay, so it's a well, but it doesn't look like a well. It looks like a mini building.
It kind of looks like a doghouse.
Yeah, a big doghouse.
But with no opening.
Right, that's what freaked me out. I was like walking all around it. I'm like, there's no opening to this. Anyways, so we're right next to that. And this thing is going red. It is going totally crazy. Going and Cailey says, oh, I bet it's that thing making it do that.
Yeah.
And right after she said that, it came up, agreed.
And so here's what happened. I was standing there because I thought it was some sort of electrical box because it had a plug coming out of it. Like it would have plugged into something. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, this has to be some sort of electrical thing. I don't know. And so I'm like, it has to be this that's setting it off because it's giving off electrical
It was going crazy. I've never seen it do that before.
Nuts. And then it said, agreed. And I'm like,
it agrees with you.
Yeah. So clearly we were like standing right next to a ghost of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
God. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was freaky. Nothing really else happened that I remember when we were outside.
Well, I thought there was one more word that popped up. I'm sorry, I'm pulling up the picture.
While we were outside? Because I know we got a lot of stuff in the car.
We got a lot in the car. Or no, so it said tall, and then it said right, not agreed. It said right.
Oh.
And then it said become. Mm-hmm. And then that's when we walked to the front of the house, remember? And then it said hello.
Yeah.
And then it said listen. And then we were laughing because my uncle has a head of Beethoven sitting in the window. So it kind of looks like someone's staring out at you. And we were kind of laughing about that. Yeah, it's a creepy thing. That thing used to creep me out as a kid. But we were staring at that, and then it said they laugh.
Yes.
And we were all like, okay.
Back to the car.
So that's what we did, is we went back to the car.
Yeah, and we were also freezing. I would, like I said, I think we're hopefully be able to go back during the summer.
Yeah.
Where we can look around more and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah, it said some other things. Another thing that really freaked me out is when we were in the car, it said your husband's name.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
So between that and my husband's name, there were a lot of words that came up that also equally freaked me out. Like believe her and heard you and above you. Remember that? We were all
above
like,
you?
What's
I was
above
freaking
us?
out.
What's above us?
I was looking above, trying to look above the car. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like cold air and scared.
Yeah, cold air freaks me out because it really was cold air.
Cold. Yeah, it was really cold.
Yeah.
And then it started saying names, like it said Madeline, it said Samantha, it said Caleb. And then we were kind of sitting there for a little while longer, and then it said Nathan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my face was like...
Your eyes, your face when it said that.
And I'm like, oh my God, it just said my husband's name, which I know. People are going to be like, oh, Nathan's a really popular name. I know that. I know that it's a popular name. I get that. But it's still freaky. It's not freaky. I mean,
it could have said a bunch of names, though. I mean, I don't know if it was that popular. I don't know, but it was weird.
It was very weird. And then at one point it said pulled after I had said how they pulled the meter. And so I was like, oh, shit. So it was, I don't know. Like I said, to me, there were just too many coincidences for it to not be a thing. But I don't know. Oh, and it said sin.
Yeah, that was weird.
And story. And then it said relics.
Yeah, that was weird too. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah. Oh, and then it said why me?
Yeah, I don't know.
That one freaked me out.
So I'm looking through my stuff now, and one of them said after you.
Yeah.
But I don't know when that was said. And the weird thing, guys, is my phone can take screenshots if you like tap the back of it. And so I'm just holding the phone like normal. I'm not moving it. I'm just holding it so we can get, answers coming through. Yeah. And then it says after you. And as soon as it said that, it took a screenshot of that.
Yeah,
and I
which
did
was
nothing.
super weird. It was super
I freaked
weird.
out. Because if you, like I said, I wasn't moving my hand or anything. And it, like I said, all you have to do is tap the back of it to screenshot it. And that's what it did. And I still have that screenshot.
Yeah, I remember that. I forgot that had happened. It was, Because then after it said after you, it said heard, that's when it said heard you.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Like, we were all like, oh my God. And then, remember, I heard, Pat thought this was super weird.
Yes,
Pat was sitting in the back seat. I was in the driver's seat. Vanessa was in the passenger seat. And I swear to God, I heard someone walking up behind the car. And it's black. I mean, you can't see anything behind the car. Literally, I could not see a thing that was behind the car. And I'm like creeped out right now just telling this. I'm like chills, everything. I literally heard someone, because her window was down. Mine was up, but yours was down. And so we could hear what was going on outside.
Yeah.
I literally heard footsteps coming up the driveway, because my uncle's driveway is gravel. It's not paved in any way. It's just gravel. So you could obviously hear someone walking on it. And I heard footsteps in the gravel. And I just looked back at Pat, and he thought I was like trying to freak him out. And I'm like, no. I'm trying to listen, because I swear to God, I just heard someone walking up behind us.
Yeah. And you were staring back there for a while.
Yeah. Because I was trying to listen. Like, I was trying to pay attention to what was going on. Because I kept getting really freaked out because that one house, the light kept going on and off.
Yeah, that was weird. The one single light in the house.
Yeah, just one single light kept going on and off. And so I know that my uncle has made friends with a couple of people that live around him. And so I thought maybe it was just his neighbor coming to check on, like, why is there a car sitting in your driveway? But yeah, the one light just kept going on and off and on and off. And then that's when I don't know, maybe 20 minutes after that is when I thought I heard the footsteps. And then we kept hearing some other weird noise.
Yeah. So the weird thing is, we didn't hear this noise when we were outside.
No. At least if we did, I didn't pay attention to it.
I would have heard it because it was kind of loud.
The fact that we could hear it while we were in the car with the thing going. Yeah.
And so I don't even know how to describe it. To me, it sounded like it was coming from in the house.
I'm trying to remember what it sounded like.
It almost sounded
me, it
like...
thought like Pat was thinking it could have been like an oil thing.
Yeah. At first, when I first heard something, which I don't know if it's a different noise, same noise, but I thought I heard knocking.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, but then I heard knocking and then nothing for a long time. Then that weird noise kept going and going, though, for like a few minutes straight. It was just constantly.
It was weird because it kind of kept going in and then going out and then going in and then going out and then going. Like, it just, I don't know. To me, I wasn't too concerned about it because it was kind of patterned. Like, the knocks were equally separated apart. It wasn't like just random knocks. Like, it did seem to be in some sort of pattern, so I wasn't too freaked out by it, but still it was interesting because I don't think I've ever heard that noise out there before.
Like I said, it wasn't going on all the time.
Right
So I don't know.
Yeah,
it freaked me out bad at first, but then after a while it's like, okay, we get it, you're making a noise.
right Well,
I don't know what it was.
It was my uncle's house. So there are a couple of windows that are broken in on it. And he still has all of his stuff in the house. Not all of it, but he still has a good majority of his stuff in his house. I forgot about that. Yeah, so he still has things in his house. Like, he has furniture. He has, obviously, a Beethoven head. Looked like he had a handle of Tito's on there. Because, those ghosts are getting lit. And getting lit with Beethoven. And, like, he still has things in the house. And he comes back periodically and will take stuff from the house and take it to his house in St. Louis. But he hasn't been there in a while. I would say at least it's been at least a year and a half, I think, since he's been to the house.
But
So
that's
it's
when the
just-
spirit box came through. Remember?
When?
It said clutter.
Oh, yeah, it said clutter.
And then it said took.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's when you told me that story. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we were
clutter
just
and
we were getting things that were just kind of like making a little too much sense. Like I said, it was just very coincidental with everything that was happening. And then I was just so freaked out by the end of it. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. But definitely want to go back.
Yeah,
sure.
I want to go back, and maybe I would be more willing to go into the house if it was like the middle of the day, because then we could see.
So we can see,
Yeah, because from what I know, he had a giant hole in his kitchen floor, and he just put plywood over it. So I'm sure there's more going on in the world of that house that I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to go back. And I want to figure out, when we were driving through Pond Creek, we were trying to find a cemetery that I had been to with my grandpa. And so next time I think I'm just going to have him show me where it is. Because it had been a couple of years since I had gone. Like, I think the last time I had gone to that cemetery was, I don't know. Maybe 4 years ago. So it's been a while since I've been to that cemetery. And he tried explaining it to me, and I'm like, yeah, you're just going to have to show me. Like, I don't know where I'm going.
We definitely need to go there.
Yeah.
Because it's a really old one.
It is, yeah, and I don't think there's anything new at it. Like, I don't think there have been any new... I mean, like I said, it's been 4 years since I've been there, but I don't remember seeing any new ones.
Yeah, and then when you're going to come back, it's going to be more spring.
Yeah.
And we are definitely going to go do something bigger.
Yes.
We got something in mind.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
We're excited about that.
Yeah, I am just like, I think we need to look into getting a better spirit box.
Yeah, I definitely want a spirit box, a better one. If you guys know any good ones, let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
and
trying
then
to think
probably next week we'll jump back into some true crime.
Yeah. Yep.
So be on the lookout for that.
Yes. I'm like, so I have to tell you, just because I was preparing for this, I burned Palo Santo in my apartment.
Oh.
Because I'm like, I need to get rid of all the bad energy, get all that shit out, get it out, go.
Yeah.
So I did that this afternoon because I'm like, yeah, I need to prepare myself. So I might actually do it after.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Do it again afterwards. But it was. We got some good stuff. Whether people believe it or not, that's up to them. But I think we got some good stuff. So we'll have more in the future for sure.
For sure.
All right, is that it?
I think that's it, guys.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Well, as Vanessa said, let us know if you have any stories you'd like us to cover. Email us. You can message us on Facebook. You can send us a message on Instagram. I think that's it. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.